Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi ashabihi wa tabi'in lahum bi ihsan ila yawmin nushur. Allahumma alimna ma yanfa'una wanfa'na bima 'allamtana wa zidna ilma. Allahumma mu'allima Ibrahim 'allimna wa mufahhima Sulaymana fahimna. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. We shall start from where we left off in our last lesson. That will be Ayah 106. ما ننسخ من آية أو ننسها نأتي بخير منها أو مثلها. 106. Is it 106? 106. Let's start from 106. Let's do a recap. Inshallah now. Read. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ما ننسخ من آية أو ننسها نأت بخير منها أو مثلها. ألم تعلم أن الله على كل شيء قدير.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We had said previously that Ahl Kitab, right from the one, since the advent of Islam, they have devised numerous and various strategies and plots to nip Islam in the bud, but they have not been successful. So they have created so much and generated so much widespread animosity and enmity against Islam. And in this ayah, their strategy and plot is also being revealed, that they charge our Rasul with changing his mind and not communicating the message from Allah. And this message, which is the Quran, is from him. That is their charge. But they are proved to be wrong. And this ayah verifies that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that Ma nansakh min ayatina wa nunsiha nati bi khairin minha. Whatever ayah that we abrogated, that we changed, that we took away, we bring what? One that is better in terms of what? That will take care of the masalih or the welfare and the well-being of all. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our creator. He knows what our benefits are. He knows what will make for our well-being. And whenever he brings an ayah, that in his own mind, that in his wisdom, in his own knowledge, Allah can change it at any time, but not out of forgetfulness, not out of lack of knowledge. No. Allah knows what all our actions are. So it stands to the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the might of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he has power of all things. Now, so they are complaining, the Jews, that look at our Rasul. He often says one thing and then acts another, or he gives a command, and there's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not commanded him. So he's also always contradicting himself by changing his ayah. He tells us to do one thing and tells his people not to do another thing, whereas he commands them to do such and such a thing. Now, so Allah exonerates the prophet by saying, Ma nansakh min ayatin aw nusiha nati bi khairin minha. We did not abrogate or take away any ayah, except that we bring that which is better and takes care of what? Of the welfare of all. Now, or a similar one to it. Either we bring another one or a similar one to it, but it is always what? For the good of the people. Now, don't you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has power over all things? And this is expressed by Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. Indeed, and very emphatically, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has power over all things. So nothing is beyond the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, so this shows that our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam received the message, the wahy, revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he gives his word to the Ummah. Now, continue.
ألم تعلم أن الله له ملك السماوات والأرض وما لكم من دون الله من ولي ولا نصير
ألم تعلم أن الله له ملك السماوات والأرض. Don't you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the sovereignty, dominions of the heavens and the earth? And all that is in the universe is because of the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah controls everything in the heaven and the earth. And therefore, if we should take orders than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we can have no helper. There's no one to help us when we move away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All help comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And victory also comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And therefore we have to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obey our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he has the final message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, I'm to read.
أم تريدون أن تسألوا رسولكم كما سئل موسى من قبل ومن يتبدل الكفر بالإيمان فقد ضل سواء السبيل
أم تريدون أن تسألوا رسولكم كما سئل موسى من قبل. Here's another issue. Our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is talking to the to the mushrik Quraysh, to the believers, all of them, that when Nabiullah Musa came, they asked him several questions. Out of what? Not obeying our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not obeying their prophets. The prophets that came were asked several questions to test them. They did not obey their prophets. So you, the mushrik Quraysh, you, the kuffar, are you asking ourselves some of the same questions? Are you going to behave like those who came before you as they posed questions to their prophets? Especially Musa alayhi salam is mentioned here. But yes, this is not limited to Musa alone, to the prophets that also came before Nabi Musa. All is about the prophethood that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to our Rasul and gave to the various prophets. These prophets are chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And no prophet did come except that they asked him questions. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing comfort to the heart of our Rasulullah by letting him know that he is not the only one who is being questioned, who is being challenged for that matter, about the veracity of the prophet or revelation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him. Even Musa was challenged. They challenged Musa, for example, they asked him certain questions as what? To make them see Allah. What else? and so forth and so on. Now, so you are not the only one to be asked such questions. So is that what you want? This is not new. So this brings solace to what? And comfort to our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. In other words, the previous messengers who came, they also met the same challenge from their polytheistic people who did not believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now,
ود كثير من أهل الكتاب لو يردونكم من بعد إيمانكم كفارا حسدا من عند أنفسهم من بعد ما تبين لهم الحق فاعفوا واصفحوا حتى يأتي الله بأمره إن الله على كل شيء قدير.
ود كثير من أهل الكتاب, most of the أهل الكتاب, those who were given revelations, most of them, they will prefer, they wish, they are praying hard that they take you out of Islam, that you lose the guidance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. That is their wish, that is their prayer, and that is their fervent hope. And love most of them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that وَدَّ كَثِيرٌ مِّنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ لَوْ يَرُدُّونَكُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ إِيمَانِكُمْ كُفَّارًا حَسَدًا. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the guidance, they were not guided. They have been shown the guidance, but they did not follow the guidance. They have hatred in their heart. Their hearts are breathing and nourishing hatred and animosity. They want you to be like them. They will come to confuse you so that you will leave the deen that our Rasul has brought to you. Do not do that. They don't know what they are doing. Just forgive them. Hopefully, one day they might be Muslims. Now,
وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة وما تقدموا لأنفسكم من خير تجدوه عند الله إن الله بما تعملون بصير.
وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ. Instead, just make salah. Make the zakah. Do not waste your time. Do not kill yourself for them. As Allah says that, وَلَا تَذْهَبْ نَفْسُكُ عَلَيْهِمْ حَسَرَاتٍ. Do not literally kill yourself for them. You have done your best. You have tried so much so that they become Muslims. They have rejected. Instead, they hate you for giving them the revelation. So why do you waste your time? Instead, focus your attention on salah. Get closer and closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by way of what? Either the obligatory salah what? Or the nawafil salah, the optional salah. This should be your watchword. This should be your task. Allah mentioned two pillars of faith. Two pillars of faith. Two major obligations. That is what? Aqim salah. In Arkani Salah, the cornerstones of Salah, Allah mentioned two of them, as-Salah and then Zakah. In their obligatory forms as well as what? Their optional forms. This is what you should focus your attention on and not be bothered by the fact that they are not, or they are mocking at you, they are not willing to become Muslims. إنما عليك البلاغ وعلينا حساب. Yours is what? To communicate, to propagate the revelation for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is yours. Our duty is what? The accountability. We shall give the what? Accountability. The what? The reward toward the actions. That is why Allah says that وَمَا تَفَعَلُوا وَمَا تُقَدِّمُوا لِأَنفُسِكُم مِّن خَيْرٍ تَجِدُوهُ عِندَ اللَّهِ. Whatever deed, action you do, you bring forward Whatever action you perform, you discharge, whether good or bad, you find it with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In other words, Allah takes account of all our actions. This is what is more important for you, our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and for that the entirety of the believers, that it should be your duty, and not to waste your time trying to what? Or crying over spilled milk. The milk is always spilled. Allah knows that these ones are not guided. And Allah knows who shall be guided. So you are guided. The few ones who are with you, they are guided. Go ahead, teach them how to make salah, teach them how to perform zakah and other obligations. This should be your duty. Now, because in Allah indeed, without a doubt, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees all our actions. Whatever you do, He sees it. Now, not all of them. No. There are some good ones. Now, but the greatest majority of them, a lot of them, they do not want you to be guided. They have so much hatred for you. Like they say, the rose is always without, it's not without its storms. The rose is not without its storms. Oh, there are some ones like Abdullah Sabah, mashallah, Abdullah ibn Salam. Abdullah ibn Salam was a very good one among them. He became a Muslim. It's not like these ones. Abdullah ibn Salam. So there are some portions of or pockets of them who actually understand now. But the greatest majority of them are the ones who always sows seed of hatred and animosity against you. Now, yes, this shows what Husn Muamala. Now, when we are dealing with people, we have to show remorse. We have to show compassion. We have to show kindness. Now, this is what Rasulullah was taught by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Rasulullah was given the opportunity to crush what? Those who were disbelievers, those who committed atrocities and perpetrated all forms of atrocities against him. We all know the story. He was harmed, injured. He was given opportunity what? To take them out, to crush them. But he said no. He chose what? To be what? Patient with them, to be remorseful, to have compassion for them. This should be our fundamental dealings with what? People of the opposite faith. Now,
وقالوا لن يدخل الجنة إلا من كان هودا أو نصارى تلك أمانيهم قل هاتوا برهانكم إن كنتم صادقين.
وقالوا لن يدخل الجنة إلا من كان هودا أو نصارى. And they said, who? They, both the Jews and the Christians, the Ahl Kitab, they said that none shall go to Al-Jannah, none shall enter into paradise except one who is Yahud or one that is Christian. No. What is their dalil? Who revealed that to them? So Allah says that, قُلْ هَاتُوا بُرْهَانَكُمْ. Qul, say Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, let them bring your dalil, your evidence. to prove what you are saying. You cannot take the law into your own hands and then grant Al-Jannah from yourself. Al-Jannah is a prerogative for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He grants it to whoever He wills now. So this is just a hollow talk. It contains no water. It is condemned. So Allah says that bring your evidence if only you are truthful. If you want to Al-Jannah, listen to Prophet Muhammad. Listen to the message of our Rasul. Inshallah, with obedience and ikhlas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, will grant you Al-Jannah. That is how you can take Al-Jannah. You get Al-Jannah. But to reject the ration of our Rasulullah, to reject the deen of our Rasulullah and his message, and you claim that no one can go to Al-Jannah, that is an act of wishful thinking. Tilika amaniyukum. That's what Allah says. That's what? Tilika amaniyukum. That is what? Mere wishful thinking that cannot materialize. Now, Bella. That's right. Did you hear what the brother is saying? He said, let me hear you.
So is it from this ayah that we take the principle that someone can claim Jannah for himself or for someone else, even though we might see righteousness with them? But we hope that it will be good because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't guarantee Jannah.
That's right. Unless the ones that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself has guaranteed their Jannah. Like Asharatli or Basharatli Jannah. Allah has granted their Jannah. But for any individual to claim either Jannah for himself or others, that is wrong. They are treading what? The territory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is exactly what the Ahl Kitab had meant. They are claiming Al-Jannah for themselves. Or Al-Jannah is their what? Is the exclusive of them. But, yes, no one, therefore, has the right or the authority to claim Al-Jannah for himself or for his group, except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah. So that is what? The prerogative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, you are, Father. Can we get the mic also?
From the ayah that Shaykh previously referred to, when Allah says, حَتَّى يَأْتِيَ اللَّهُ بِأَمْرِهِ, what is this referring to?
That was, حَتَّى يَأْتِيَ, unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings his own command, his qadr, unless the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes to pass. So you cannot judge that. Allah has his plan. The plan, the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come to pass. That's what the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What Allah has decreed will come to pass. Once it comes to pass, then it brings the result of what Allah has for them. But not for those ones, what? To choose what they think is for them. Like Al-Jannah. Al-Jannah is not for them. They are making claim. That is a false claim. Until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings his word Al-Qadr. Because Allah says, like he says in the Quran, Inna kulla shayin khalaqnahu biqadar. Everything Allah says that we created all things what? By what? By decree. Qadar means what? Decree. Now, so yes, al-amru here means what? Qadar, qadarullah. Hatta yati Allah bi qadarihi. Now. Oh yeah. Bella.
بلى من أسلم وجهه لله وهو محسن فله أجره عند ربه ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون.
Now, after refuting their argument and their claim to choose who they want, or those who can be in Al-Jannah and are entitled to Al-Jannah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here shows them how you can achieve Al-Jannah. Bala, indeed, yes. Man aslam wajhahu lillah, anyone who submits himself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Aslam wajhahu, what? To submit literally to what? His face, right? Face, because it's the most recognizable, visible part of the body, entire body. So the body represents what? The essence, the entire being, the entire self. So wajha means what? Himself. In other words, if you submit your face, it means what? You have submitted your what? Your entire self to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Bala man aslam wajhahu. It could also have been Bala man aslama nafsahu. Right? Yani that to shay. That to insan is being the essence of human being is what? Is being represented by what? And wajhu, the face. Now, so Bala man aslam wajhahu lillah, yes, anyone who submits in all humility, what? To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Submit himself, entire self to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa huwa muhsin, and at the same time, he does good. He's a good person. He does what? Good. From his side. Good. Very pious. Nam. Falahu ajwin the Rabbi. His reward is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His reward is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wala khawfun alayhim. He shall have no fear. Wala hum yazanun. Neither grieve. There's nothing to grieve about. There's nothing to be afraid of. It is a guarantee that once you submit yourself holistically, entirely to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in all humility, in devotion also, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guarantees you that you have nothing to fear, you have nothing to grieve. Inshallah, your reward will be with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, there are those, they say they are Muslim, right? But they don't work as Muslims. People become Muslims, but they are not necessarily what? Muslimun. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayah wants you to be that Muslim who strive hard to what? To be a Muslim also. Now, because Allah wants the best for us. Why is he doing this? Is he not a Muslim? Yeah, he's a Muslim. But because he lacks his son, what is Muslim here? Someone who worships Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as though he sees Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all areas. And if, of course, he doesn't see Allah, Allah most definitely he sees him. Now, this is what the level that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to achieve now. So that is more important, that the Muslim should come to let us know that for fastabiqul khairat, we have to compete, and race for what? Being the best in whatever we are doing, so that we can have maximum what? Blessings, what? Reward for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِذَا سَأَلْتُمُ اللَّهَ الْجَنَّةَ فَاسْأَلُوهُ Firdaus, right? He didn't say Jannah alone. If you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for Jannah, ask him what? Firdaus. Why? وَأَنَّهُ أَعْلَى Jinan is the highest of Jannah. that paradise. So this is what Allah wants for us. So you have to be a Muslim and then strive for what? Muslim. فَلَهُ أَجْرٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِ وَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. Your reward is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then there's no way for you to fear. Now, قالت اليهود. Well, that's fine, mashallah. It can achieve at any time. But normally, when you become a Muslim, the whole package is that you are a Muslim. You should become a believer. At the same time, you should become a what? A Muslim. Now, but what time? It depends upon individual's own situation. Now, people are different. People become Muslim. Sometimes they are supposed to what? Enter into Islam wholeheartedly. Others may come to Islam with just one leg and then another leg out. But he's a Muslim, he's a Muslim. Now, others strive hard to attain, they fall into shortcomings, but they still get themselves up and then they still move ahead. So yes, the goal here is to become a Muslim now. But we are Muslim, alhamdulillah, it's accepted, a believer is accepted. If you can attain Islam, it's also accepted. But it may not be achieved in one day. Now, but the goal is that to achieve it within the shortest possible time, because time and tide waits for no man. In other words, nobody knows what the future holds for him. So once you are a believer, then you get to make sure what is Muslim. That is what? Applying all the provisions and the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, avoiding the prohibitions, and then what? Acting, performing what? The obligations. Now, carrying out obligations for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then avoiding his prohibitions. You are a Muslim. This is what at-taqwa. This is how you attain taqwa. If you are a taqi, of course you are a Muslim. Now, a taqi is the person who does good things as if what? In a superlative degree that is always being watched by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can do that anytime, inshallah. It's not that you finish this, then after a while you come to finish this. It's a whole package now for you. Now, so there's no time limit that no, you have to be a Muslim first, then you become a believer, then you become a Muslim. No, it's a whole package. When you become a Muslim, and then when you become a Muslim, Islam yajubu ma qablahu. In other words, Islam wipes away all those that have passed. So you become what? Like a newborn. So in this case, you have a new slate, open slate. You have to fill the slate with what? With good deeds. Once you are doing those good deeds, you are a Muslim. You have achieved Muslim right now. You have in everything, every department of your life, you make sure that you have planted what? Good deeds. You are a Muslim. Now, it's not like today I'm a Muslim, but tomorrow you are caught, you yourself, you know what you do, doing some wrong thing. You cannot achieve Muslim from that. No, but so that the Muslim is free from all what? Why? Because he's performing as though he's seeing Allah. So there's no way you are performing like seeing Allah and then what? Fall into what? Infractions or shortcomings. Now, so it's a whole package that you grab it at once, inshallah. And then the difference will show as you work your way through the actions and your deeds, inshallah. May Allah make it easy.
وقالت اليهود ليست النصارى على شيء وقالت النصارى ليست اليهود على شيء وهم يتلون الكتاب كذلك قال الذين لا يعلمون كذلك قال الذين لا يعلمون مثل قولهم فالله يحكم بينهم يوم القيامة فيما كانوا فيه يختلفون.
The Yahud said that the Jews, the Christians are nothing. وقالت النصارى ليست اليهود ولا شيء. And the Nasara also said that Jews are nothing. Now, during the time our Rasul was in Medina, this occasion of this ayah, and then a delegation came from Najran, from the Christian delegation. They came to our Rasul. The Jews were already in Medina with our Rasul. And one of them said, of the Jews, said, you Christians, you are nothing. You are nothing. You have disbelieved, you have shown disbelief to Nabi Isa. You don't believe in your own prophet. That's what the Jews said to him. And you don't even believe in the Injil that was sent to Jesus. So you are nothing. You have no share what? In the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the vice versa. So the Christian also said, you the Jews, you are also nothing. You disbelieved in your prophet Musa alayhi salam. You don't even believe in the Torah that was sent to Musa alayhi salam. So you are nothing. How dare you then say that what? We are nobody. You are not better than this? So they are now challenging themselves as to who is better than the other. Each group what? Claiming what? Supremacy over the other and superiority. Now, so this was happening. So Allah brought this ayah. He brings this ayah to Rasul that what? وقالت اليهود ليست النصارى على شيء وقالت النصارى ليست اليهود على شيء هم يتلون الكتاب. When even though they are all what? Reading, they have been given the book. They have been given the book. Now, كذلك قال الذين لا يعلمون مثل قولهم. Similarly, was said by those who do not know مثل قولهم. Now, those who do not know here refers to what? The Mushriku Quraysh, the pagans of Quraysh. The pagans. Is the same thing what they are saying. They are also saying what? They are best because as the Pharisees, they don't believe in the Rasul. They don't want to accept him. And that their stand is the best stand. Not to accept their relation. So yes, the pagans also are saying similar thing as was said by the Yahud and the Nasara. فَاللَّهُ يَحْكُمُ بَيْنَهُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. The good news is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to judge among all of them. Allah is going to judge between all of them. Now, so there's no need, they don't have to what? Claim superiority over others. That is, the only duty that they have is what? To follow our Rasulullah. Failure to follow our Rasulullah, the revelation of our Rasulullah and the Quran is what has landed them into what? In this kind of fruitless, worthless what? Arguments among them as to who is superior to the other. Now,
ومن أظلم ممن منع مساجد الله أن يذكر فيها اسمه وسعى في خرابها.
Stop. ومن أظلم ممن منع مساجد الله أن يذكر فيها اسمه وسعى في خرابها. ومن أظلم. Who is worse off? Who is worse off? Who is in a worse situation? Who is more oppressive? You can say who is more wrongful? Who is more criminal? Who is more a miscreant? than what? Than someone who prevents people from using the house of Allah. From what? Preventing the house of Allah, either by way of destroying the house of Allah, so that people could not get into what? Into the house of Allah, to use the house of Allah. Now, this shows that the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fundamentally are erected, are built what? For the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you can see the wedding. For Allah, وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنْ مَنَعَ مَسَاجِدَ اللَّهِ, who is more criminal, more oppressive than someone who prevents the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that the name of Allah be mentioned in them. وَسَعَى فِي خَرَابِهَا, and he goes on, he tries, he makes an effort, what? To destroy the houses of Allah. So kharab here, to destroy. It can be physical destruction, as you see people destroying the house, as you see bulldozing, demolishing the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or non-physical, like people prevent Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's house. Not physical destruction of the building, but their behavior prevents people from what? From using the house of Allah. Both stand to mean what? Kharab. So al-kharab hissi wal-kharab ma'nawi. Now, kharab hissi, physical destruction. There was a time when the Romans, they destroyed Masjid al-Aqsa. Physically. They uprooted it. Now, there was a time when in India, the Hindus, they destroyed the house, the masjid of Allah, the masjid. They destroyed it physically. It was demolished. That physical demolition is one meaning of what? Of kharab. There was a time in 1979, right there in Mecca, a group of people, they came to the house of Allah in Mecca. They surrounded it. They locked the doors of the haram, the Masjid Haram, and prevented what? People from coming to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to what? To remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They prevented them from making salah, remembrance, dhikr, and tawaf. And then al-wukuf, and then what? Being there in itikaf with all this. For a period of 2 weeks. Did they burn the house? Did they tear it down? Now, even though they destroyed some aspects, but they didn't bring the whole house down. So, this kharab falls on them. That's one way. You can give other examples that people can, their very action can prevent what? The house of Allah to be accessed what? For what? Zikrullah. And you find that Allah says that, and this tells you what? That the fundamental duty, the fundamental function of the masjid is what? Huh? Prayer is zikrullah. To remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then so fundamental. So, and if you do that, may Allah forbid, what crime can be more wrongful, can be more erroneous than this? That is the thing. Why? These ones who try to destroy the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, either physically or otherwise, as you have explained. In the first place, they themselves, they are in awe of the masajid. They themselves, they are scared of the masajid, let alone to destroy it or to prevent people from entering into it. So, in any case, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that لهم في الدنيا خزي ولهم في الآخرة عذاب عظيم. They shall in this world suffer humiliation, disgrace, shame, and in the hereafter they will suffer what? Adhabun azim. A great torment, or say the great torment. How will you put it? A great torment, adhabun azim. Painful punishment, that's alim. Painful, great torment, huge torment, tremendous, that's punishment, chastisement, all goes well. So adhab is what? He said torment, you can say what? Chastisement, you can say what? Punishment, they all go, inshallah. Because you have different translations, you see other translations. Someone might say what? Torment, as he has there. Others might say what? Chastisement, others might say punishment. They all know what? Adhab. Now, Awim, it's a great, huge, modern language, you say what? Huge, and so forth and so on. Now, but none is easy. No adhab from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it doesn't matter how you translate it. You don't want to what? To receive the adhab from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's unbearable. May Allah forbid. His is what? Humiliation, disgrace, shame. No. طيب. Kharabia, that is its destruction. Was fi kharabia, that the what? The sa means what? Make sign. They try, make attempt. Fi kharabia, to what? To destroy it. They had domir mutasil yaud ila al masajid. Refers to what? The masajid. Okay, so kharabia, the destruction of the masajid. Now, he will make, it will strive. Those who strive, struggle, they try their utmost what? Towards what? The demolition and the destruction of what? Of the masajid. So kharab means what? Destruction, demolition, and what have you.
Because he says so that wouldn't
Can you pick the mic? Can you take the mic?
Let's say, for example, in the masajid, there's people who might push other people away by behaving in certain, not necessarily as extreme as the example you gave. The number of people with their manners, and some people run away from them. So they're like, oh, I'm not going to the masjid. There's so and so who's doing that, or there's this group of people doing that. But they wouldn't be included because they're not striving into it, or would they be included?
Not included. If somebody says that I don't want to go to this masjid, somebody sacked him, somebody said that to him, somebody prevented him from coming, or it is his own choice. His own choice. So he's following his whims, desire, right? That is what he desired. So he prevented himself from what? From coming to the masjid. That is his business. You ask the business, for example, this masjid is open to everyone. If somebody chooses not to come here, so be it. That is his choice. But if Shaykh, you say, don't come to this masjid, no. Why? You don't even have the authority to say that. This is the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, if he says he doesn't want to come to the masjid, now you have done nothing wrong to him. He did wrong to himself. Now, that is his choice. But Allah knows best, inshallah. وهم يتلون الكتاب Kitab bimana al-kitab al-munazzal alayhim. In other words, they read the kitab that has been given to them. The Jews, they read their Torah. The Christians also, they read the Injil. And subhanallah, and all these books, Injil and Torah, our Rasulullah has been mentioned in these books. Subhanallah. But they conceal the truth that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned about our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They are ahbar, they are chiefs, they are scholars, they are elders, they know it, but they conceal it. Now, so in as much as they have been given all these books, still they go on to what? To disdain our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the revelation given to our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even though all the facts about Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the truth, all these truths are mentioned in these books. May Allah make this one.
ولله المشرق والمغرب فأينما تولوا فثم وجه الله إن الله واسع عليم.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking us to the issue of the creation of the world. To know when Allah said the Wallahi Mashriq wal Maghrib, the what? The East and the West all belong to Allah. Means what? The entire world belongs to Allah. When you hear Mashriq wal Maghrib, belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So wherever you are, you turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have turned to what? To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, you have to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from all corners of the world. Wherever you are, Allah is our goal that we won't take. Allah is not limited in space, no. It's not limited in a place, no. Allah will know that is what. But as we are here right now, Allah knows what we are doing. He sees us. Now, if you go to any corner of the world, Allah sees you and He hears you. Now, so, inshallah, the fact that Mashriq and Maghrib have been mentioned does not mean that Allah is just owner and possessor of the East and the West. It shows the power, the greatness, the almightiness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To Him belongs all the entire universe, and He only is the creation. No one is the creator, and no one can be compared or has a share in the belongings of the world. Now, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that we shall all turn to, what? In all our affairs. Now, no, because yes, masajid here mean physical construction of masajid, not legal or technical masjid. Like also one of the things that he has been given favors that jubilately around masjid. Wherever you are, the earth is pure. More or less a masjid, you can make a salah there, true or false. Now, but the masajid here mean the actual construction of the masajid. That this masjid, for example, it has been constructed. Now, so those are the ones that Rasul was ordered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to communicate this message that by way of revelation, that masajid that are constructed now, that are maintained, what for the when you go to Surah An-Nur, what the masajid, what that are maintained for the what for the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, here you have masajid that are being destroyed. Maybe people are making efforts to destroy the masajid. Now, so this means physical masajid, not the earth as a whole. That any part of the earth is what? It's a masjid. In the what? Not in the physical sense. Now, technically, yes, every place is a masajid, but you don't have structures in every place that you want to make salah. Now, when you are traveling, you are from Columbus, right? If you are going to Columbus, do you sometimes stop on the way to make salah? It happens to you on the shelter, on the construction, on the mosque, on the mosque. You make salah in the mosque most of the time, but I see occur to you maybe even once that you make a salah not in the mosque, on the wayside, right? Was there a structure? No. Now, but it's a masjid. Can you what do you think of demolishing the place? How do you demolish that place? It is unthinkable, right? Because there's no structure there. Here, masajid, there, the structures that have been erected and built for the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those who prevent this people's access to this masajid, they are wrongful. Now, that's what it is.
So he's saying that since the previous ayah was talking about the masajid being destroyed, and in the next ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks that He owns everything. Wherever you turn, you will find Him. Would it be also considered as a way of relief for those who have been afflicted by the masajid being destroyed? That even though the masajid are destroyed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala owns everything, so they will find it.
A place, a substitute. Yes, in that sense, of course.
So that's his question.
Oh, yes, that is true. Yes, of course. If you cannot come here, you can pray everywhere. You can go to the lake area, the banks of the lake area, and then make salah there if you want to. Right? Now, say yes, if you choose, but normally we like to make salah in the Jama'ah. And Jama'ah is normally what? Centered in the masajid. The way it's built and constructed now. Because you can make salah any time in the masjid, but you cannot make any salah at any time when you are out. When you are out, inshallah. After that, we shall say.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا
Jazakumullah khairan. Okay, to stop here, and then inshallah, we shall continue, inshallah. What is the best? Inshallah, let's finish up just fast from 116, right? Inshallah. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم.